It's the streaming time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Ignore that sound. The computer box is on a like little shelf thing that I have to shove around so that I can put my legs under the desk, or I shove it so that the headphone cord reaches me when I'm at my laptop. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm sorry the stream was late. I spent, a hot... How long was it? Maybe 5 hours in the 4 or 5 hours in the voice chat with the Artgram lads. First for the group drawing session, and second for the not group drawing session, the other thing that we do. The town hall meeting with the founder. That was neat. And that's what this is for. I was proposing an alternate layout for the thing, like this is your thing, instead of just having the squares, you could have, the names of things and descriptions that you could like actually read about the art without having to individually click on each one, which is kind of annoying. Wait, I need to rename these. There we go. Okay. Going to do this way. Yeah, that's pretty much right. I'm watching The Quest of the Aquatic Slug Cat again because I really like this video. That'll do. Come full circle. Come full circle again. Used to sing out, I got it down in the heart. Lost in symphony, and he fell out down to his knees. He found out it's part of a plan to be all he could be. Come full circle, come full circle again. I think one of my flaws is that I always want to have like all the possible context going into a situation. So like I won't play the Witcher games until I have read the books, because I don't want to go into them with like less information than necessary, even though I know most people who play the games have not read the books. I still want to read them. I like reading. I'm not gonna read them, obviously. I'm gonna listen to them on Audible. I'm not some kind of rube. Not a peasant. Not a medieval man. I have the power of technology. I did like actually physically read an entire book recently, which was Fight Club. Granted, it was for a college class, but that's not the worst thing in the world. It was Fight Club, and I thought it was really good. Like, I read the last third of it in one day because I was, like, too interested by it to stay to the reading. I think one time I got, like, they give you the books for class, and I read one of them in, like, literally 2 days because I was like, well, I just want to know what happens. I don't know how they expect you to not, like, if you're a small child, reading is usually much easier than it gets when you're an adult, I don't have anything else to do. You can just read all day and all night. That's what I did, at least. I didn't start playing video games a lot until, like, middle school. like late middle school. Around the time I started using the internet, I stopped reading books so much, and I don't think those are related, actually. Well, they might be related a little bit, but I don't think one caused the other. I think it's just that reading stopped being fun. The vast majority of the time I had to read was when I was, like, put down in class and they literally wouldn't let you do anything else. You had to read a book. You couldn't draw or write. You had to read. It was the worst. Like, reading is fun when you do it because you want to do it. Reading is not fun when they sit you down and prevent you from doing anything else. I think that's one of the problems with school, actually. Like, public school, the way it works, just doesn't understand why people want to do things, especially children. And you do, like, have to appeal to your audience, even if your audience is a child, you know? You don't want you don't want a kid to come out of school hating learning, you know? Because they associate learning with feeling miserable. And I feel like that happens really often. Like, that lessens as you grow up. I think most people, or at least most people I know, grow up to like learning later in life, but they don't do it in the same way. When you're an adult, you learn by reading books and talking to other people, and, you know, absorbing information naturally, if you will, or seeking it out on your own. You become, like, one who seeks knowledge rather than one who is, like, forced to hear about knowledge. And I think that's an important distinction. Like, the adult who likes to learn is doing it because they want to know things. The child who is forced to learn is doing it because they are being forced to do it. Like, I don't know how else you're supposed to... I think if just school was made to be less, like, oppressive, if you will, I think it would be a lot easier to get some children to do things. It would have been for me, at least. Because I do actually like learning things. I always have. Like, even school book things I like learning. But when the atmosphere for learning is wrong, it's just impossible to have fun doing it, you know? Even if you actually like learning. Which, again, I did even while in school. I really like learning about history and shit. When the history you're learning is boring, then you go like, well, I'll do it at home then. Like, you zone out while you're at school because nothing that you're being taught matters to you. I did do all my work, but, you know, I did it, and then I got right to writing because the thing I was good at, the thing I wanted to be doing, was something I was not rewarded for doing. Which is maybe partially why I liked doing it. Like, having rewards for everything I don't think actually makes people want to do them more. I think it just makes them, like, value them less, if you will. Doing something because you want to do it and that's the sole reason you do it, that's good. I think more people should be encouraged to do things just because they want to do it in school, rather than having all their time filled up with things they are told to do, you know? Which wouldn't work for everyone, I understand, because some children simply don't want to do creative or useful things. I mean, when I was in middle school, a bunch of the boys would just sit around looking at shoes while they were not being monitored. Which is funny, I actually saw way more boys look at shoes than I did girls. But, you know, they were looking at expensive sports boy shoes, not girl shoes. Naturally. Sexual dimorphism, ladies and gentlemen. really funny thing about school, I think, is that a lot of adults, like, if you placed them in a situation where they were just taught things and didn't have to pay for it and could just learn of their own accord, I think most adults would appreciate that much more than any child. Because you don't value it, because that's all you know when you're a child, at least in many cases. I assume people who come from backgrounds where they actually have to work and then they go to school are much more appreciative of the schooling than people who do not have to work and are forced to go to school. And I don't think children should work either. I just think that, like, maybe you find a way to make them want to do it, you know? I don't know if it's, like, entirely possible, to be honest, because children are just, like, so selfish and have so little perspective. Like, half of this woman's body is covered up by some blankets. It's funny talking to other young people who went through school. I think I just generally have a very positive, like, take on things, even if I don't like doing them. I'm capable of not thinking of them with, like, anger, but I think that's not true for a lot of other people, at least my age. Probably people older who are, probably most older people too. I think it might just be a generally human thing to be mad. Not for me, though. I just don't get angry, really. Or if I do, very temporary. I do not simmer. Like, I hear other people talk about things where they're like, I can't believe we have to do this. This is making me really mad. And I'm like, it's not, like, hard. You can just be over with it pretty quick, you know? When you hear a child complain about school and it's like, I had to do something completely pointless. And it's like, yes, it may well have been pointless, but it wasn't, like, a pain for you to do, really. It was just pointless. That's just, like, all of adult life. The majority of jobs you're gonna do for at least, like, the first, I don't know, 10 years of your life are going to be largely pointless nonsense, you know? You're gonna be doing a lot of stuff that doesn't matter. Just wasting time so that you're, that you can start making money. I mean, the majority of jobs that you get as a young person are just you standing there in case someone shows up. And in most cases, somebody will show up, but you are just standing there in the case of somebody showing up. You're doing a task, really. At least not consistently. This is Axel philosophy talk, I guess. At the end of the day, even what you're doing in even if what you're doing in school is pointless, that's just a precursor for what you're going to be doing in life, which is largely pointless. And I think actually that school might contribute to why a lot of people in their later years get like less and less personally accomplished until they get quite old. Like, your creative aspirations just melt away when everything you do doesn't matter and takes up a lot of time. Just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No toxic hazard in the classroom. Teachers leave them kids alone. What are you just saying? Another brick in the wall. What are you just saying? Another brick in the wall. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna watch The Warpath of the Combustive Slugcat. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before. By the way, frames might be dropping. Yesterday's stream where I fucked up, I had to edit it, and it's rendering, so. And the thing is 10 hours long, so it's gonna take a while to render. You have to leave it open overnight, no doubt. Which is kind of annoying, but oh well. What you gonna do? Figure drawing. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna turn the camera off while I turn this and make sure Wereci's on here and not nude. I probably didn't save him nude last night, but I might have, so I'm not gonna risk it. There he is. He is not naked. Sure. Let me make sure that his junk is censored. Okay. The junk censoring button is on. Oh, that's where it's coming from. I should probably put that here, right? It's kind of funny. I really like Wereci's full armor look. I think that messes with it a little bit, yeah. The arms overlap. Okay. Need to open the thing so that I can draw his helmet, which it was pointed out to me I did forget to do yesterday. Though in my defense, Photoshop was in the middle of collapsing. Okay, back to Wereci. Also, it wasn't pointed out to me, so fuck you, Phantom, but yesterday's fun fact of the day was not positioned correctly, so the O in a word was overlapping with the camera. So, whoopsie doodles. Does Fly Sky High do literally all of the art for the Hollow Knight community or something? Okay, we need to sketch his helmet. And this helmet's gonna be a bit weirdly shaped because his ears have to be able to stick out of it. Tazens do not deal well with not being able to hear. It's gonna be an open-faced helmet because my character's wearing it. I can't exactly have him not, his face not in it. I don't know what to tell you. Now, how are we going to shape? The issue is that the ears are very close together above the eyes. They start like here. So I guess that seems impractical. I think we're just going to have to say that it doesn't go as far down. Wait, come on, Photoshop. You've been awake for like less than an hour. You'll do fine. This is also lamellar. It starts like here. I guess I could. We're gonna try multiple things for this because it's kind of hard to get right. Wereci, Tason's heads are not meant to have helmets on them, it turns out. God, these fucking Verbo ads. Swear to God. If I'm going to go somewhere, I'm gonna stay in a hotel, you bastard. Come full circle, come full circle again. We used to sing out without a doubt in harmony. Numbers of an awesome symphony. And then he fell out down to his knees. He found out it was part of the plan to be all he could be. I realize that this color isn't very good, also I have bits of it poking out here. Helmets generally don't look very good no matter how you slice it, so I'm gonna try a couple different things. Jeez. We're gonna have Ellen's on the stream. Is Ellen still in his car? God, it's gonna be annoying when his parents come back and we have to talk while he's in his car again. Oof. Okay, so this is the first potential design. The issue with these is that they're partially overlapping with the ears. I think I might just put them behind the ears layer. Or the front ear layer. Make a copy of the ear layer and put it in front. Yeah, we'll do that, and I'll just cut off this bit later, not at this very moment. Okay, so the actual shape of the thing is like a triangle. It's like this. And then it cuts behind the ear here. Well, like this, kind of. Tazen's, I mean, you don't get a lot of these helmets like on the battlefield generally because Tazen's, if they're in an army, usually do not fight that much. And any given Tazen conscripted into an army will usually be made into a groom rather than a soldier because Tazen soldiers tend to not do so great on the battlefield. comes in circle again. Used to sing out without doubt in my harmony. Okay, I should probably tell this Discord server. It's a raining man, hallelujah, it's a raining man. Oh, come on. Photoshop, you've only been open for an hour. There's no reason to be doing this. I mean, it's not pretty. These fucking Verbo ads. I feel like it's a bit more realistic to have it not fit perfectly around the ears. Okay, so option one looks like this. These are pretty close to his head because it binds this to this. So we're gonna turn off Wereci's bun. Why is this uneven? We'll just draw shadows under there to indicate space. I'm out of water. I'm gonna go get some real quick. I think I might go with this. Put some design on the top, obviously, but it's very uncomfortable for Tasons to have their ears pressed down against their heads, especially for long periods of time. Like when they have their ears like back, like when they're upset, because they emote like dogs do in that way. It is they only go like most of the way back. They don't like actually press against their heads completely. So it's like just physically uncomfortable to have their ears like that for a long period of time. And Tasons are already enough of a mess on the battlefield that having them be physically uncomfortable on top of like very stressed is not a good idea. And obviously there's a bit back there. That's what a bald Dyson would look like, huh? Yeah, this just looks fucking stupid. There's another John Wick? Jesus Christ. They just can't stop Keanu Reeves from showing up to the studio and being like, okay, give me another script, boys. It would be really funny, like, if he just kept being like, okay, it's time. Give me another script, why don't you? Come full circle again. Oh, there's the time. Oh, there's a power line. Oh, that was clever. He chopped off both his arms, huh? R.I.P. Lost both his arms in the war. We used to sing it without a doubt in my harmony. Just looking longingly at the thing I drew. I fell out down to his knees. Found out he was part of a plan to be all he could be. Come full circle, come full circle again. Oh, right. I'd have to copy the whole fucking thing, wouldn't I? Meow. Oh, the baby's perishment. It's very sad. Very tragic. Very tragic. Do relic send it. Come on, Photoshop. Sing out without doubt in the harmony. And I fell out down to his knees. Found out it was part of the plan to be all he could be. Come full circle, come full circle. Go again. Okay. Patience, patience, patience. Vertical. There we go. probably give Wereci an alternate hairstyle, I'm realizing. Why is it already like it was last night after 10 hours? It sucks that if I stopped the stream I wouldn't even have anything else to do because I like just have drawing to do today. Oh no. Cancel. Shit. Okay. Deco. Fuck off. be all he could be. Come full circle. Come full circle again. It looks like his ear is sticking out, kind of. I'm just gonna build that up a bit. Come on, Photoshop. Can't do anything else today. Come on. Still have to place the strap things for the lamellar. Okay, finally got it to work. And it reminds him of being free. Found out he was part of the plan. Be all he could be. Hmm. Watching Scurry play the slug cat is kind of funny because they can explode themselves and also they can explode themselves and there's low gravity sometimes, so they'll just go like soaring across an entire room. Okay. Must take forever to assemble this kind of armor. Probably not longer than it takes to forge a breastplate, I'll grant you, but armor in general is, you know, just come now, Photoshop, you can do it. You're still alive. I really like the art in Rain World. Come on, Photoshop. Come on. The end of the Demolition Cat Slug questline is kind of funny to me. Like, she just becomes the queen, I guess. Come on. I wish I could pause exporting. Reminds him of being free. Found out he was part of a plan to be all he can be. Come full circle. Come full circle again. Okay, we're just gonna copy, I don't know, this one. Okay, we're gonna watch the Chalky Slug Cat video now. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong account. Well, I haven't seen Spearmaster and Saint. I assume those are going to be the next videos Scurry puts out. I'm seriously wondering how they're going to upgrade the story from Rivulet, because Rivulet had a really, really interesting story, I think. Like, I think that I've never played Rain World. Oh, I hate that they're advertising, like, oh, do you want to get away from the snow? No! Advertise this to literally anyone else. What the fuck? It's like, oh, do you hate snow? And it's like, you're advertising to the wrong person, dude. Leave me alone. One sec, I'm gonna grab my phone.
Baby, baby, are we having an issue? Are we dying? Are we dying on to death? Oh, very tragic. Very tragic. Yes, would you not agree, Weasley, that this was a most tragic situation? Do you not agree with that, Weasley?
Yeah, I think all I'm gonna be able to add today is the helmet, because Photoshop is just dying too much to add anything else, I guess. Swear to God. Really annoying that I made that mistake and flashed Wereci's dick yesterday. Because now I'm gonna have to spend 20 hours waiting for the damn thing to render. Oh my goodness. 1 second, I gotta turn your volume on for the stream. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, you know. Photoshop is having a really tough time, so I'm thinking if I can, I'm just gonna stop after I finish drawing Wereci's helmet, and then go to a friend's house. If they're available,
No,
and if they're not available, I guess I'll just push through it. I know, Ellen. Shocking that I have friends to go to the houses of.
truly unexpected.
Yeah. Hypothetically, anyway, I just asked her. Talking about Grace, by the way. I've told you about Grace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a darling. I just asked her, she and Dave are both very introverted, so you never know with them.
Here, I'm going to hang up and get back on real quick and see if it links to my headphones.
Okay. I do like the armor thing going on here. Where it's like this.
Okay, it works.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
Have you seen Glass Onion or Knives Out?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you seen Glass Onion or Knives Out?
No.
I just watched them last night during the stream actually. Both really good. I also watched Ghost in the Shell for the first time.
That's an anime?
It's a very famous anime.
Yes.
It's a movie.
It's an animated movie.
Good God, I didn't know those existed. Can you believe it's legal to animate a movie?
No. It's fake.
Fake news. What happened in that Ben Shapiro shitpost I sent you, by the way? I didn't watch it. What were his top 5 animes?
I don't click on Twitter links. So I only saw what I saw the caption and the pictures, and I left.
It's
So I
not a
didn't click
it's
on
not a
it.
picture. You can watch it from Discord.
Hmm.
You don't have to open Twitter to watch it.
I'm still using Twitter, which I refuse to do.
Don't fuck off. Okay.
Oh, Steve.
What?
I said Steve.
See the liberals.
Twitter user.
Oh no. I'm on the internet. How dare I, frankly.
I've never used Twitter. Ever.
You're like, I have never been on the internet.
Definitely not. I just sit in here with my carrots, and I'm a happy man.
That's a lie.
I go to work too, and I'm not a happy man.
Wow. Come on, Photoshop, you're going to drive me insane. This is what it feels like to be one of those guys whose wives is just like, who constantly complain about their wife, but also refuse to do anything about it.
Photoshop is your wife.
Photoshop is my wife. See the liberals.
Can you hear me chewing on carrots?
No, thankfully.
Thank God.
Finally,
Finally,
as
a
much
safe
as I
space.
love listening to you chew.
A safe space for carrot consumption. This is what I've been waiting for.
Why do you eat so many carrots? It's kind of concerning.
Because they're a healthy source of vitamins and fiber and carbohydrates.
Good God. You keep saying shit like that, you're gonna be a mom and very soon.
It's all in the works.
Yeah. You're currently practicing on your male wife skills.
Oh, yes.
So that you can reach the eventual goal of being one of my many trophy wives.
By the way, thank you a lot for sharing that Bloodbound with me.
That old bloodbound.
Ever since I read the part where he talks about seeing the sea shanty, that's like a beautiful ballad about love or whatever.
I don't
I
remember
think
that.
about the Courtship of the Mermaid by NSP.
I'm glad. Well, that's, Rients have, or at least Rients in the place Dusk is from, have a particular, culture surrounding the sea, because
Oh yeah.
most people who live in that area, like, absorb, like, sailor culture through osmosis, so basically all of them are, like, weird about the ocean and ocean spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Including Dusk, by the way.
Yes. And aren't the Tezans like big on sailing?
They are, kind of. You know how I was talking to you and saying that coastal and, not coastal Tazans live very differently?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of Tazans who live on the coast, but also even more who don't. It's just that the majority of sailors you see are going to be Tazan.
Mm-hmm.
Or part Tazan.
Yeah, inward ones you said were semi-nomadic.
Yeah,
Ones that live
most
on the coast
Tazans
are
that
going
live in the homeland, if you will, are nomadic. They usually migrate like on a cycle. They end up in
Oh yeah.
similar places every year, just circularly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hi,
And then
Phantom.
coastal ones are going to be a bit more worldly, and they're going to be
some
more
of
like
them
natural.
some of them work in various parts of the world. I mean, your average Tazen Sailor has seen a lot of the world,
Hmm.
or at least a lot of docks.
Yeah, a lot of water.
Actually, here's some fun information. Allow me to check it. Tazen language growth Google Sheet. It's funny I call it Tazen language growth because like half of the things here have nothing to do with Tazen's world population. So I have populations for most of the major cities in Talanthir, and there's something called sedentary population and temporary population. Like sedentary people who live there all year, temporary people who live there for only part of the year.
Mm.
Me and Ellen are talking about my world. Also, whenever I listen to the VODs, I always sound like really, really quiet. And I don't know why. So I'm turning up the volume on you and me a bit. Alright,
That's
so
good.
for instance, the biggest city in the world is the Lair, which has a sedentary population of 275,000 and a temporary population of 100,000. And second biggest city is Wereci, I think, which has a sedentary population of 125,000 and a temporary population of 175,000 because it's a desert, so like nobody really wants to be there all year.
I missed, is this just in the peasant homeland, or is this throughout your world?
Well, I'm talking about specific cities.
I mean, no, but you said the highest population city?
The highest population in Talanthir is the Lair,
Okay. Yeah, I see.
which is where Dusk
Cool.
is from. The second highest is Ereshkigal. I think the third highest is Simbar, but Simbar is different because Simbar's sedentary population is 50,000 and its temporary population is 200,000.
And what constitutes the majority of the, like, temporary population?
By the way, Phantom, is Ellen, are Ellen and me at a good volume right now? Phantom, help, please. Wait, what did you say? Ellen, I forgot.
I was going to say,
Oh.
uh, so you have in some of those cities a rather large base of traveling constituents that are not there year round.
Yes.
What demographics are those composed of generally?
Well, when you're talking about a port city, the vast majority of the temporary
Sailors.
population is sailors, you know.
Aye, Captain.
Don't fuck with me, Ellen. I'll kill you.
I would welcome it.
You're like, kill me, daddy, please. And then you can talk about why doesn't Talcandrail have a temporary population number? That's really weird. That's a port city too. I mean, most of Talanthir's major cities are ports, naturally.
Mhm. Just like real life.
It's just like real life. Wow. And I think the largest gap between sedentary and temporary is with Fura, the city Fura, which is in Lananhe, which is the island to the south of Talanthir. And Fura's sedentary population is 3,000. and its temporary population is 70,000. Because most of the people who live on Fura spend part of their year in... Most of the people who live on Lananhe spend part of their year in Fura. But not most of it, because you can't sustain a large population there. They spend a lot of their time crossing the glaciers and shit to the south.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, the population should probably be smaller. I think I made it a bit too big because I wanted the population to be larger than Tesmaya. Doesn't Tesmaya have... Tesmaya has less than 100,000 people living in it. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it?
Still bigger than like most cities in Idaho. I mean, like all cities in Idaho.
Yeah, the total population of Talanthir is 17 million people.
Holy fuck, that's a big ass country.
Talanthir isn't a country.
Is that your entire world?
That's the entire landmass, yeah.
Is it a single continent or a series of continents?
It's
Or
part
do you
of
have
one
multiple?
continent, but not the entire thing.
Do you have other continents?
No.
Keeping
Some
it
could
simple, I
exist,
guess.
but I don't have them world built.
I'd say it's kind of cliche at this point. A little bit. I'm not criticizing it because it is the most convenient and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's very cliche at this point for there to be a single continent.
I would say it's less cliche than having one continent and then everybody goes and finds a new continent with indigenous people on it. Because that happens in, like, a lot of fantasy books.
Yeah.
But that's not the case for Talanthir. First of all, the one continent that I'm talking about, it's not called Talanthir. It's bigger than Talanthir. It's very big. In terms of total size, it's like...
Pangea.
It's like as big as Asia. But it's not shaped the same way. It's shaped weirdly.
Geez, I was hoping it'd be exactly Asia shaped.
You're like, shit. There goes all my fan theories.
My immersion is fucked.
You're like, look, the only thing I know about real life is that it's got Asia in it.
You know me, I'm the geography brain boy. I don't do anything else but recite nations and their capitals.
That is true. It's really funny to me that when I was like, oh, do you want to do this? You were like, okay, give me another one, give me another one, give me another one.
Gotta prove my self-worth
Yeah, you have
to myself.
You have to prove your worth as a mate by showing how intelligent you are. Right,
yes.
Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This helmet looks so goofy. Look, in my defense, most helmets look really goofy.
To be fair, like, a lot of helmets don't look goofy.
That's not true. Show me a helmet that's open-faced that doesn't look goofy. I dare you. Has to be
'Cause you're either
open-faced, though.
Because
That's what I'm drawing.
tough for you, dude. Okay,
No, tough for you.
how about a
fool.
visored bassinet with the visor flipped up?
Visor, bassinet, how do you spell that? Say it out loud, boy.
Visor?
Bassinet, how do you spell bassinet?
You don't know?
Is it just like how it sounds? Oh yeah, it is how it sounds actually.
It's B.
I got it, I figured it out.
C-I-N-E-T.
No, these look pretty dumb.
No, they're fucking gorgeous. I want one of these things.
So that you can wear it like Gimp?
No, so I can beat people up with it.
Like Kaladin what does with the Shardbearer's helm.
Exactly. Eggs fucking exactly.
Eggs.
X fucking exactly.
Oh,
How about that?
It sounded like
such
you were
dick-
trying. It sounded like you were trying to say eggs on purpose. In my defense.
I was.
Okay.
I was playing on my twang, my western twang.
That western twang of yours.
Yeah, yeah.
I say going into a southern accent.
And I follow you.
Yeah. You're like my western twang.
Okay. How about a fucking
You're so defensive. Oh my god. A kettle?
what? I'm hurt. A kettle helm.
Kettle
For
helm?
go-
No, these are stupid too. Have you seen these? Are you kidding me?
Are you shitting me?
They're
These
so.
things are gorgeous.
They look so dumb.
I'm sorry. This is an uber practical helmet. This is like peak military technology right here. It was used for about 1,000 years.
Ellen, you're disgusting me, frankly. I'm gonna post a picture that I saw of this in the chat, and you look at that and you tell me that it doesn't look stupid.
You're probably looking at the wrong kettle helmet.
Look at this fucking thing, though. Look at the chat. Look me in the eyes and claim that that doesn't look stupid. I dare you.
That is the wrong helmet.
But it does look stupid, you must admit. You can't lie to me.
This one looks stupid. That's not even a historical design.
Well, obviously. It's got too many fucking faces. It needs to be round to effectively have weapons slide off of it. That looks kind of like a colander that someone like, you know, like the lemon squeezer things.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like one of those. Wait, I need to check my phone real quick. I'll be back.
Okay, salads.
Phone, come to me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Behave yourself, why don't you?
Why are there no historically accurate images fucking anywhere? I'm disappointed. Okay, allow me to demonstrate. Like this.
Okay, that looks less stupid, but it still looks stupid in my opinion. Maybe it's... I think it's just because I find hair very attractive.
Yeah, tough for you, dude. Hair is
You're
very
like,
easy
that's gonna suck for you when I go bald.
Okay, but a closed-faced helmet, like a great helm or a salad, that's where it gets really hot.
Ellen, do you have terrible taste?
I'm sorry. Great helms are where it's at. I almost bought a great helm when I was maybe 15 or 16.
I'm gonna be real with you, I do like salads more.
Yes, salads are also where it's at.
They do
also,
still look kind of dumb, though.
I'm sorry.
I hate the Crusader ones. They're so ugly. I mean, like, they're aesthetically appealing, but, like, I just can't, like, change my associations with things. I look at that, and I think Crusader, and that just makes it, like, bad.
I'm sorry, that's kind of cringe, to use the phrase that the kiddos use. So...
These are the helms that I'm referencing for drawing Wereci's helm.
Those look a little goofy, but fairly practical.
I mean, they're definitely practical. I do really like Lamelate or Lamellar as a... Yeah, it's Lamellar. As a look. I think it just looks really good, you know.
It's a pretty cool armor type.
Okay, I think this is all the helmet we could possibly need. Helmet, there we go.
Stabbity stab. Thank you for finally drawing a helmet. It's been bothering me.
I know. I'm not the dumbest man who's ever lived. Excuse me.
You're my hero.
I need a hero. I'm holding out for
And
a hero to the end of the night.
Fucking look, it's a great home without a cross. Are you going to, like, faint? Have an orgasm?
Most
Because of
likely.
the lack of Christianity?
Well, the reason I dislike it isn't because it's Christian. It's because of the Crusaders in particular, you know.
The Crusades were, like, a very tiny chunk of
The helm
history.
does
Although,
go around the
albeit,
ears because it's like cut in such a way, like there's a triangular shape back here that you can't see.
that said, the Crusades were a very interesting portion of history.
Oh, very interesting indeed.
Yes.
They were awful though. Like I just can't. I mean, there's
I'm
things
sorry,
where I can
people are
think about
awful.
them and be like, okay, yeah, that was awful, but it doesn't upset me. But the Crusades do upset me.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly just because of how much people idolize them in the modern day.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of pop culture and, like, worship there is for that stuff is, like, obscene, frankly.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's mostly just because the armor looks neat, but, like...
Yeah. I mean, it all looks neat.
Yeah, it does
but,
like, look neat, but it is very troubling, like, historically. It's just bad, and everybody worships them anyway.
That's war. And we have a tendency to worship, no worship, but kind of idolize, like,
1 second.
historical archetypes, especially
Such as
military
the warrior.
ones, such as the warrior,
Took
or the
Boris's
paladin.
boots off on accident.
And that's what Saladin was, a paladin. And King Richard the Lionheart was a paladin. So look, paladins, we like paladins, okay? And also it's really fun to say Saladin the Paladin. That is like...
I mean, if it's fun enough to say, I think you can get away with it.
Even if he did some bad shit.
Which,
and he
like,
didn't
they all
do...
did, actually, it turns out.
Yeah, they all did bad shit.
Most of the time when we're talking about, well, specifically with, like, violence coming from non-white areas, when we're talking about it, we, like, treat it as bad, but we don't do that for, the Crusaders.
I don't know, I hear a lot of, like, it was
Like,
kind
the
of the
liberals
norm
are...
to kind of burn and rape and pillage at the time. And so everyone did that. But, like, you're
Don't
not...
start spouting Molyneux at me, boy.
When you burn and rape and pillage, you're not gonna say you burned and raped and pillaged. When the enemy burns, rapes, and pillages you, you're gonna talk about it a lot, so that more people want to join your fight to go and burn, rape, and pillage the enemy. Like, war is not pretty.
Here's the thing, though, Ellen. It was not, like, the Arabs who were burning and raping and pillaging as much simply because they couldn't. They weren't in Europe. Like, they couldn't burn, rape, and pillage the other
They did later, like in the 1400s, but that is not the Crusades. The Crusades, basically, the pontiff went, hey, you know what? Everybody's fighting each other, and they're not getting along, and it's kind of breaking our continent apart and just getting shitty. And we don't like this.
So, shit, we need to come up with a reason for them to...
So let's all get together and go kill someone somewhere else.
Let's go kill some Arabs, boys.
We stop fighting each other. And then we get rich, because we were plundering and raping and burning on the way.
Delicious.
So, it wasn't an altruistic motive, for sure.
No shit, Sherlock.
It was trying to get rich, effectively. Trying to get rich and trying to unite the country. Not the country, but unite the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Which at the
Which
same
God
time.
knows nothing else could do.
Serious. They had to be killing people, either each other or people like from different
They're
cultures.
Europeans, they can't stop.
Basically a Leffy. Uh, so that's effectively how it went. And as far as burning, raping, and pillaging, the First Crusade was the worst because you had like a bunch
And
of
then there was the
like
Children's Crusade.
convicts. Yeah, well, there was a Peasants' Crusade that came first before the First Crusade, which just kind of petered out.
How did they
Like
fucking
they
manage
burned
that?
and
They're a
raped.
bunch of peasants.
Yeah, they burned and raped before they made it to Jerusalem, and then they dispersed.
And they were like, oh, well, we've already gotten all our burning and raping in, so...
And the First Crusade had a bunch of mercenaries and like freed prisoners
Surprise.
who were told that they'd be like redeemed in the eyes of God if they went and fought a war.
Wow, Catholics, am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
These people were like totally undisciplined. And they made horrible soldiers. So once they made it inside the city walls, they just went
Haywire? Yeah, they do
like haywire and committed a bunch of atrocities.
that. Was the Peasants' Crusade
like-
the one where they stopped in, what was it, fucking, Constantinople? And just, like, burned Constantinople down?
Yeah. Although the First Crusade kind of went with that.
They also did that, too. I mean, we might as
After
well all
that-
get on the action.
Like, these are Christians too, but, we kind of want to pillage the village
Yeah, they're just like, but
of
I'm
Constantinople.
really feeling some burning and raping right now.
Like, well, the Pope said go pillage. I'm
He
gonna
didn't say
pillage the village.
where.
He's just like, go, get out of my country.
Yeah, he's
Stop
just like,
killing
please
each other
leave.
on my land.
I don't really care what you guys do, just leave. Really cool,
Now, like,
Pope. Wait,
after-
shit, did that save as a PNG? Oh, no it didn't.
Now, like, after the Crusaders took hold of Jerusalem for, like, that 100-year period, it wasn't really worse than when the Islamic, warlords
yeah,
had
the
a hold
ruler
of it.
doesn't really matter
Like,
in
like,
things
it
like
was
that.
basically the same.
Like, the ruler
like, they
doesn't really
would let-
matter when you're talking about, like, a city, unless the ruler
Yeah.
is, like, terrible. Once you get past the stage where, like, the city burns down and half the women are killed and stuff like that, it just goes back to normal no matter who was the one who did it initially. Unless they, like, leave.
Yeah. But that's where I'd say they weren't necessarily, like, committing unusual atrocities for the era. It was just very normal to commit atrocities. But,
It
like,
was just the usual atrocities, you know?
but like, you can't ignore that. And also, the Crusader we imagine, the, like, righteous knight, isn't the dude that was first there. The first people to actually storm Jerusalem were, like,
Was
mostly
Robin Hood,
mercenary
baby.
thieves. It was basically like
Was he Robin
Hood the
Locksley?
rapist.
Oh boy.
So, like,
It's funny to me that in that movie, Robin comes back and he's like, hey lads, have you ever seen a black person before? And they're like, no. And he's like, oh, me. So,
boy, I have a surprise for you.
yeah.
There's this thing.
Legitimately, I think that movie is really great. Well, here's the thing about it. The farther you get into the movie, the more the actors care about it. So it starts out with the actors being like, whatever, man, I'm just sick of it. And it ends with the actors being, like, really into it. Anyway, I have to go, off with the boys to have dinner, since Photoshop is dying. So we're just gonna leave it at this today. Thank you for joining me today, Phantom. I love you. Smooches, smooches. Bye-bye.